What if I told you that the first time two women went to space together, reporters kept asking the male astronauts if the women could handle it? Stick around, because this story about proving everyone wrong ends with a historic spacewalk 140 miles above Earth. October 5, 1984, Kennedy Space Center, Florida. Space Shuttle Challenger sits on the launch pad, ready to make history, but not for the reasons you might think. This mission represents a first for NASA, two women in space at the same time. Sally Ride, who made history in 1983 as the first American woman in space, and Kathryn Sullivan, a geologist and oceanographer, are about to become the first American women to walk in space. But there's a problem. Well, not really a problem, more like an attitude problem from everyone else. At the pre-flight press conference, reporters don't ask the women about their scientific experiments or their training. Instead, they turn to Commander Robert Crippen and Sally Ride with a different question. Do you think Kathy can do this? Kathryn Sullivan, sitting right there at the table, finally has enough. She leans into her microphone. Hello, I'm right here. Hello. Hello. You see, the doubts started long before the press conference. When Sullivan was assigned to do a spacewalk, NASA's biomedical researchers raised what they called a serious issue. Women, they warned, were more likely than men to develop decompression sickness in the low-pressure spacesuit environment. Then there were the physical concerns. Spacewalks are incredibly demanding. Eugene Cernan once described his first spacewalk as the spacewalk from hell. Could a woman handle the physical strain? And let's not forget the practical concerns. Would the spacesuit even fit? NASA's extravehicular mobility units were designed with interchangeable parts to accommodate individuals ranging from the 5th percentile female to the 95th percentile male. Sullivan found it pretty comfortable, though the knees and elbows didn't quite line up with hers, making it a bit harder to move. But the real challenge, the doubters, the assumption that women might not have what it takes, the constant questions, the skepticism. Sullivan had been selected as one of the first 6 women in NASA's 1978 astronaut class, out of 35 recruits. She'd gone through the same rigorous training as her male colleagues. She'd earned her spot, but she still had to prove it. October 5th, 1984, Challenger lifts off. 2 days after Sullivan's 33rd birthday, 7 crew members head to orbit, including the first 2 women to fly together. The mission goes smoothly. They deploy the Earth Radiation Budget satellite. They conduct scientific observations. Everything is on track. But then, a problem. A malfunctioning antenna means the spacewalk has to be rescheduled for the day before re-entry. Sullivan starts to worry. Will they cancel it? After all this training, all this preparation, all these doubts to overcome, will she even get her chance? But then, 6 days into the mission, on October 11th, she hears the words she's been waiting for. Challenger Houston, you are go for EVA. Sullivan later said, those were the sweetest words I had ever heard. 3 hours and 29 minutes. That's how long Kathryn Sullivan spends outside the shuttle, 140 miles above Earth, traveling at 17,500 miles per hour. She and mission specialist David Liestma demonstrate that satellites can be refueled in orbit, transferring hydrazine through a system they've practiced hundreds of times. Sullivan monitors his work, then finally gets her turn to do something, not just watch things. She stows the malfunctioning antenna. And then, something magical. Before they head back inside, they film a scene for an IMAX movie called The Dream is Alive. The 2 spacewalkers rise from the bottom of the shuttle's windows, waving at the camera, with planet Earth sliding by beneath them. It's not a walk, Sullivan would later explain. Walk is the wrong word. You're moving like a scuba diver, walking hand over hand. And you anchor your feet when you get to a work site. It's the world's coolest jungle gym, and you're miles above the Earth. Down on Earth, the questions stopped. The doubts evaporated. Kathryn Sullivan hadn't just proven she could do it. She'd shown that the question itself was ridiculous. That day in 1984, when two women launched into space together, and one of them walked among the stars, something shifted not just for NASA, but for everyone watching. Sullivan would fly 2 more shuttle missions. She'd help deploy the Hubble Space Telescope. She'd become the administrator of NOAA. And in 2020, she became the first woman to dive to the deepest part of the ocean, Challenger Deep in the Mariana Trench. From the highest heights to the deepest depths, Kathryn Sullivan explored both extremes of our planet. And it all started with 5 words at a press conference. "Hello, I'm right here. Hello." Sometimes the best response to doubt isn't an argument. It's showing up and doing the work. What's a time when someone doubted you and you proved them wrong by simply doing the work? Share your "I'm right here" moment in the comments below. I'd love to hear your story. And if you're loving these stories about ordinary people doing extraordinary things while everyone doubts them, you found your home. Hit that subscribe button and join the History Sparks community. We're uncovering the human stories behind history's most outstanding achievements, one inspiring moment at a time. Thanks for exploring the final frontier with me today. I'll see you in the following story. And remember, when people question if you can do it, sometimes the best answer is, "Hello, I'm right here."